Groups who have gathered outside the Western Cape High Court in Cape Town today in support of South Africa's case at The Hague. Yazeed Kamaldien, is there. Yazeed Kamaldien, what's the atmosphere like there? Were people able to follow the proceedings?
I've been to a live screening of the court. We had two protests here at the Western Cape High Court today. One has just concluded, and of course that was by legal representatives here in Cape Town. In fact, I'm going to be joined now by persons who were speaking at this event to hear from them on this court case, and they are also advocates. Good afternoon. Your name, and you are an advocate, right?
That is correct. My name is Sheriff Mohammed, and I've been an advocate since 1978.
And what is your name?
I'm Advocate Shamima Saleh, and I've been an advocate since 2004, but in the legal fraternity since 1998.
So, Israel is being accused of genocide. What is the urgency of this matter, do you think?
Well, I must say that, the entire world, I'm sure many of the millions in the world today have to go see this cause of endogenous depression. To see ad nauseum, day after day, night after night, and they're innocent.
So are you saying that this court case could achieve?
It's to stop this ongoing war, right? Which Israel is now carrying on. And as you know, the United Nations, Israel is America. The United Nations, the Americans, every time they exercise a veto right when it comes to assisting the people of Gaza.
Yeah. Look, so I want to now come to Cape Town, and today we saw legal practitioners on these steps of the Western Cape High Court. You were speaking, and you'd actually been to Palestine as well, and you are an advocate. Tell us about your perspective.
Well, my perspective is that we've been calling this a genocide for a very long time. Today we have our legal fraternity, and we are so proud of being South African today, and we're so proud of our legal fraternity at The Hague, who is formalizing and laying the criminal charges against Israel, and noting that this informality, that this is a genocide. Once the court finds that it is a genocide that is actually being committed, there will be repercussions stemming from that particular charge and stemming from the particular finding. We know today that as South Africa, we are presenting our case in The Hague, and tomorrow Israel presents their case in The Hague. What is very interesting, and we have noted, I don't think any person, even a logical person, you don't have to be a legal person, you can be a lay person to note that the definition of a genocide is currently what's happening in Palestine. The massacre, indiscriminate massacre of people of a certain ethnicity. It's not just Muslims, not just Christians, but also Jews. Because anybody against the Zionists, Israel, is considered terrorist. So they've been spinning a tale for so long, but the world at large is standing up united against the fight against Israel for the atrocities that they've been committing, not since 2023, but since 1948. With social media, with the technology that we have, there is no more hiding of the murder of women, the massacring of children. We have children and women and people in general having operations without anesthesia. Mm-hmm. How do you amputate? How do you have a cesarean section in those conditions? No water, no electricity. They are starving out the people of Palestine.
I have another question. As legal practitioners here in Cape Town, now I was here this morning. There was another protest this morning. It was called by the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, and I spoke to lawyers here this morning as well. And some of them said to me that they cannot speak to the media. Is there any legal or ethical thing that prevents lawyers for speaking in support of the South African government's case against Israel?
I think the restriction is that if you're busy with a high court trial as an advocate, right, and then the case is still ongoing, then it's sub judice. Am I right?
Correct.
It will be irregular to start commenting on a case that hasn't been finalized yet.
But is that when you are presiding over the case? I'm talking about people who are here.
There is more to it. It might be that they are working under certain structures, maybe the Cape Bar, maybe certain companies, etc. So there might be some form of ethical code within the company or a contract within the company. I'm not ethically bound. I'm also part of a political party, but I'm not here as part of a political party. I'm here as a Palestinian activist. I used to be a state advocate, and I used to be a family advocate as well, and I remain an advocate. But as a state advocate, I prosecuted people without fear and without favor. There is ethnic clause that I'm bound to, an oath that I took, and I still maintain that particular oath. It will always be justice and honesty and integrity first above anything else. And as a person of religion, in my religion, we have the duty and the responsibility to stand up against the oppressed, for the oppressed. We need to fight for the people who are being oppressed. We have to fight for honesty, and we have to fight for justice.
Can I just add?
Very briefly, please, we have to go.
What you said when she replied earlier on, you must remember the order being sought now. The order is only provisional. The question of the issue of genocide will be determined later. Why? It's urgent. They want immediate humanitarian relief, and that the fighting should stop so that that can be sorted out first.
Thank you so much there to advocates from Cape Town who had been on the steps of the Western Cape High Court in support of the South African government's case against Israel in The Hague. Back to you in the studio.
Yazeed Kamaldien there in Cape Town for us with some reaction. This, as we have just heard, South Africa's argument at the International Court of Justice seeking some provisional measures against Israel, which will also be binding to South Africa. When we return